girl can cook. She got the recipe. She got what you need. That girl can cook. That black girl magic. I gotta have it.
Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. And today, guys, I'm going to be showing you how to make a classic homemade lasagna. Yep, so go ahead and grab all your ingredients and let's get started. All right, y'all. So look, the first thing we have to work on is our meat sauce, okay? So grab your favorite heavy bottom pot, turn on medium heat, and get you some olive oil in that pot. I'm using about 3 tablespoons, and I'm using that so I can saute up 1 yellow onion, a stalk of celery, and half of a bell pepper, okay? You want it diced nice and finely, and add that in there. And you know, every good ragu or bolognese or meat sauce, it usually has a little carrot in it, okay? So I'm gonna put in a little carrot, but if you don't want to do that, that is totally fine. And I actually like mine a little bit chunkier than usual, all right? But I'm adding in a carrot, that's optional, all right? And to that, after we get that sauteed down, we're gonna add in about a tablespoon of minced garlic. And let me tell y'all, do not add your garlic in too soon, or baby, you're gonna burn it in that oil, okay? And it's gonna be real bad, and you're gonna be mad. So please make sure you don't add your garlic in too soon. Now, once everything is translucent and cooked down, we're going in with a pound of ground beef and a pound of Italian sausage. It's already grounded, okay? Y'all, this is like the perfect combination for a classic recipe. If you don't want to use the sausage, you can leave it out and you can just do 2 pounds of ground beef, all right? But we're going to season this up a little bit. I have a teaspoon of onion powder, a teaspoon of black pepper, and then we're going to add in some salt to taste. You can do about 1 to 2 teaspoons. And remember, the Italian sausage is usually already seasoned, so we're really only trying to aim for enough seasoning for that beef. But remember, you can season it however you like to. These are always only recommended amounts. All right? All right. So you're going to brown that up. Make sure there's no pink. Once you get it nice and cooked, strain all of that excess fat off and return it back to the heat. Because now, y'all, this is the important part. Getting that tomato sauce together. So here, I'm adding in about 3 tablespoons of some highly concentrated tomato paste. I like to use this Cento brand because I just like to use it. But you can use whatever brand you want to use, all right? But we're going to add in the tomato paste, and you want to stir that into the meat. That's going to give it some nice richness, all right? And no, for this recipe, I'm not using a jarred sauce. I'm using crushed tomatoes, all right? If you would like to use your favorite sauce, you can do that, okay? It is totally up to you. But this is a homemade recipe, so that's why I'm using a homemade sauce, all right? So I'm adding in the crushed tomatoes. That's about 28 ounces in that can. And I'm going to add in a half cup of diced tomatoes. If you want to add more, you can add the full can, but I'm just using a half cup because I don't want too many tomatoes. And if you feel that you need to thin this out, you can add a little bit of water into that can, and then you pour it over in there. Y'all know how y'all mama used to do it. Don't even play like that, all right? Now, for all my people who don't like sugar in their spaghetti, this is a homemade sauce, so it requires some sugar, all right? Unless you just don't mind the acidic taste, then you don't add it. But I'm adding in sugar. So 2 tablespoons of sugar. I have some fresh oregano that I chopped up. I'm adding that in there. You can also use dried. We're adding in some dried basil and thyme, a teaspoon of garlic powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of crushed red pepper. That is essential. All right, it will not make it too super spicy. And then about a tablespoon of some additional olive oil. And also, don't forget to add your salt to taste. Make sure your sauce is seasoned to perfection. All right, taste it as you go. And then all you have to do is mix that to combine it. That's it. And remember, you guys, I always post the ingredients and the measurements on the screen as well as in the description box in case you missed something, all right? So you go and grab that. Click on see more, it's right there for you. So we let that simmer for about 30 minutes. You can even go up to an hour, honey. Hell, you can even go up to 2 hours if you want to. It's going to be even better, all right? And look at that. Absolutely amazing. Oh my gosh. All right. So look, the sauce is done. And now we have to work on this wannabe bechamel. All right. Now, I'm not a fan of ricotta cheese. So I'm going to do a more traditional style sauce. Instead of making a roux, I'm just going to do a cream sauce. Okay. And for this, you're going to need about a tablespoon of butter. And you're going to melt that down. And then we're going to add in 1.5 cups of heavy whipping cream. All right. Once you get that in there, let it warm up slightly. You don't want it to boil, just let it warm up slightly. And I'm going to add in 1 cup of shredded Italian style cheese. It's a combination blend of several different cheeses, okay? So you can buy it out of the store just like that. It's called Italian style cheese. We're adding that in, and you got to get it mixed in so that sauce is nice and creamy. It does have a little mozzarella in it, so you want to make sure you combine it well or it's going to clump up, all right? So to this, I'm going to add in a 1/3 cup of ricotta cheese. This is optional. All right. I did want to have the flavor of it in there, but I didn't want the consistency. So that's why I made a cheese sauce. So I just added in a little bit, and you want to combine it until it's silky smooth, just like that. Look at that. Absolutely delicious. And we're going to season it up. You know we got to have some flavor. So we added in a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. Then we're going to season it with salt to taste. Or you can do a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And then we're going to add in a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. And that's all it needs, you guys. You add that in, mix it up real good, and your sauce is done. Look at that. Beautiful perfection, all right? So look, we're moving on to the assembly. So go ahead and grab your favorite 9x13 dish or pan. Make sure it's oven safe. And then we're just going to go ahead and start layering this up. So I'm doing the cream sauce first on the bottom layer. Make sure you get a nice layer on there so that lasagna can stick to it. And I'm using lasagna sheets, all right? These are oven ready lasagna sheets. If you want to use the sheets, that is perfectly fine, but please make sure you know what you're doing when you use them, all right? I don't want you to go through all this work and then be upset because your sheets didn't come out right. If you're used to boiling them and you like it that way, go for it. But if you know how to deal with the oven ready, then deal with the oven ready, all right? So we got that down, and then we're going to add in the meat sauce, and then I added on that cream sauce next and all the shredded cheese that you'd like to put on there, all right? Go ahead and layer it up. And as many layers as you can fit. I did about 4. But as many as you can fit, you go ahead and repeat those steps until you are satisfied. And y'all, when you get to that last layer, I'm only going to do just the meat sauce and then add on the cheese, all right? But remember, this is your lasagna. You can do it however you decide, all right? You may have a deeper dish. If you want to do 7 layers, that's up to you, all right? It's really up to you. But like here we are on the last layer. I'm adding on the good mozzarella cheese on top. Not the bad kind, the good kind, the one that's going to melt and be nice and delicious. Put that on there. Add you a little bit of grated Parmesan cheese for some extra, a little razzle-dazzle. And then add on some Italian seasonings just to give it a nice little color pop and some good additional flavor. And all you have left to do is to bake it at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 35 to 40 minutes. And y'all, look at this. Good bubbly, cheesy, googly moogly. That is a lasagna right there, honey. So look, before you get all excited, if you want your lasagna to stand up, you're going to have to let it rest for just a second, y'all. You got to let it rest for about 5 to 10 minutes or it's going to fall. It's going to be too hot, all right? But y'all, that's it. All we have to do now is plate it up. And there you guys have it, your highly requested homemade delicious lasagna. Let me tell you, honey, it was delicious, okay? And I want you to try it for yourself and then you let me know what you think, all right? But anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching. As always, thank you for tuning into my channel. And if you try this recipe out, let me know down in the comments and I'll see y'all next time in the next video.